Hello, welcome back to the course Digital and Mobile Forensics. In the previous lecture, we have seen the phases of digital forensic investigation. In this lecture, we are going to see about the role and challenges of digital forensic practitioners. Let us move into the topic. As a first, we are going to see the role of digital forensic practitioner. So the digital forensic practitioner should be able to recover and analyze the evidences, and they also present and interpret its meaning to investigators, lawyers, and ultimately to the jury from the collected evidences. The practitioners must also be able to communicate with clarity their findings and professional opinion to the layperson. So these are all the basic role of digital forensic practitioners. So they try to recover and analyze the evidence, and once they analyze the evidence, that will be presented by them to the investigators or lawyers or to the jury, and then they try to communicate their findings to the opposite end in a understandable way and also in a professional way. Here we are going to look into the core responsibilities of forensic practitioners. So as a first role, I said they should recover and analyze the evidence. To recover the evidence, as a first step, they need to identify the potential sources of the digital evidences like computers, smartphones, servers, and other storage devices. And once the digital evidences are identified, then they try to preserve the digital evidences to ensure the integrity of the evidence by preventing alteration, damage, or destruction to the evidences. So these things can be done with the help of specialized techniques to create forensically sound copies of the data so that they can maintain the integrity of the digital evidences. And then acquisition, that is collecting digital evidence adheres to legal and ethical standards, maintaining a strict chain of custody. They should record the details of the evidences each and every day. Whenever they get evidences, that will be recorded and will kept secretly, right? So that the evidences can be secured. And then they used to analyze the evidences with the help of techniques or tools. That is, they will examine the digital data to uncover relevant information such as deleted files, emails, browsing history, and other digital artifacts will be examined. And based on this examination, the forensic practitioners will develop a documentation with detailed information about the evidences and their findings and the methodology they have used to collect the evidences and the methodology to preserve the evidences. Everything will be documented in an understandable way. And then based on this documentation, the forensic practitioners will prepare a report to present their findings in a clear and concise manner in the form of expert testimony in legal proceedings. So these are the core responsibilities of forensic practitioners. So identify the possibility of the devices, digital devices, and then extracting the information from the devices, and they need to preserve the evidence using some of the tools and techniques, and maintaining legal and standard procedures, chain of custody regarding the evidences, and then examination over the collected data, and based on the examination, a documentation and report will be prepared by the forensic practitioners. Next, we are going to see what are the specific tasks can be done by the forensic investigators or practitioners. They used to investigate different cases, right? So the one is cybercrime investigation, that is they may investigate incidents such as hacking, data breaches and online fraud, or they may provide a response to any kind of incidents. For that, they should analyze the security incidents to determine the scope of the damage and identify the attackers. Once they analyze and clear with these details, they try to provide response to the people who got suffered due to this. And they can also provide a litigation support, that is by collecting the evidences and presenting their findings with the help of tools and techniques for the criminal and civil cases. And they may help a corporate organizations by investigating internal incidents such as employee misconduct and data theft inside the organizations. Or they may recover the last data, that is recovering the last or deleted data from the digital devices. So these are all some common tasks which can be done by the practitioners. To do all these functionalities, right, the forensic practitioners should have some key important skills with them. We are going to see some of the key skills needed for them. Okay, so the first one is proficiency in digital forensic tools and techniques. So each and every day the new techniques, new equipments are coming in, right? So accordingly the security measures are increasing, as well as hacking also increasing. So in order to provide security, practitioners should have forensic tools and techniques knowledge with them to provide higher level security, and they need to have strong understanding of operating system, file system and network protocols. Each and every new devices is using different operating system, and based on the operating system, file system is different and the features of the file system is different. So accordingly the practitioner should have enough skill to deal with the operating system and file system involved in the operating system, and what to deal with the problems which may arise in the new devices. So an updated skill is very much essential here, and they need to have knowledge of legal and ethical standards related to the digital evidence, that is how the digital evidences can be collected, how it can be preserved, what kind of rules tools and techniques can be used for that, what kind of legal procedures needs to be followed to maintain the chain of custody to avoid damage in the digital evidences and etc., right? And they need to have excellent analytical and problem solving skill. So spontaneously they need to act for any kind of incidents to provide high security. So as a practitioners, they should have knowledge, that is practical knowledge in using tools and techniques, and also analytical problem solving skills. And finally, the strong communication and reporting skill is very much essential in order to convey about the case and the collected evidences and interpretation on the evidences to make the case and the solutions clear to the lawyers or the jury. So strong communication is the next important skill. Other than this skills, the digital forensic practitioner can have some other qualities with them. So they should be familiar with the working of computer devices and networks, and they should have a knowledge of investigating crime, A lawyer with a sound understanding of the law and court procedures is the requirement for the digital forensic practitioners. Next, we'll see about the challenges faced by the practitioners. We are going to see technological challenges, legal and ethical challenges, and operational challenges. So the first one is technological challenges. We know that each and every day the new technology advancement is taking place in all the devices, right? So as a practitioners, they should understand the working functionality of all the new devices and operating system of the devices and software used in all the devices should be aware of it, right? So they need to have updated knowledge, skill on the advancement. Encryption and anti-forensic techniques are being used everywhere, right? It complicates the process of data acquisition and analysis. So because of this, practitioners should update their knowledge each and every day based on the advancement in the technology. The next one is increasing data volume. That is, the forensic practitioners is trying to extract the evidences from the digital devices, but each and every day the amount of data generation in each and every day by the each and every devices is increasing, right? Among the large volumes of data, practitioners should try to extract the relevant evidences. So this is somewhat a tedious process. Nowadays the cloud storage and distributed system are being used to store the data. Among the voluminous of space, the practitioners trying to extract the data. So this is a tedious one. And the next one is device and its encryption complexity. That is, modern devices often employ advanced encryption methods, making it challenging to access the data. So since when they try to extract the data from the digital devices with all these encryption complexity, so they have to use higher techniques and tools to access the data. So they need to aware of the specialized tools and techniques based upon the advanced encryption methods. And anti-forensic techniques. That is, criminals are increasingly using anti-forensic tools and techniques to erase or conceal the digital evidences. If anything happens, so those kind of data should be recovered by the practitioners whenever it is needed. So this requires practitioners to stay ahead of the anti-forensic techniques and develop countermeasures. And next we are going to see about legal and ethical challenges faced by the practitioners. As I said earlier, the legal complaints, that is, the practitioners should adhere to strict legal and ethical standards when collecting and analyzing the digital evidence. So the laws and regulations vary by jurisdiction. So accordingly, they have to collect and maintain the preservation. They have to preserve the evidences based on the laws and ethical standards. Okay. And next one is maintaining the privacy. That is, balancing the need to obtain evidence with the protection of individual privacy is a constant challenge here. And maintaining the chain of custody and ensuring the integrity of evidence is another important challenge. And the third one in legal and ethical challenge is admissibility of the evidence. Whatever may be the evidences, whenever they try to submit to the jury, the evidences should be collected based on legal and standard procedures, and then it should be admissible to the court. They should accept these kind of evidences. So based on that, the evidences reliability and validity should be considered, right? And next we'll see about the operational challenges. If the practitioners wants everything um, operational, then what kind of challenges they may face? The first and foremost is nothing but resource constraints. If they want to do some investigation, right, they may use advanced tools and techniques, or they may need additional manpower to do the investigation, right? If there is very limited budget and very limited manpower, then they cannot do the investigation process in a proper way, as well as it will take some time, right? It may be a time consuming process. In order to avoid that, proper resources can be provided to the practitioners. And then they should be provided with enough training to update their skills in terms of forensic tools and techniques, and legal and ethical standard procedures. Awareness can be given, right? So like that, in each and every way they should be up to date. And then we can make them to maintain objectivity. That is, it is very important that forensic practitioners remain objective. So they try to find the evidence and they try to extract the connection between the evidences, and also they try to prove something from the collected evidences and analysis method. So all these things should be done in a formal way. Okay, so it should not be unbiased, that it should not be a biased one, right? So unbiased examination and unbiased report can be given from the examination of the evidences. Okay. To summarize, in this lecture you have learnt about the role of digital forensic practitioners and what are the challenges faced by them and what kind of minimum qualities they should adapt. Thank you. We'll see in the next video.